So the next job is to take the photographs from the camera's memory card, the images that were taken on the day, the 360 degree images. So there's 3 of each, if you remember. I've put them onto the hard drive, my backup hard drive, into a folder. There. So what I've done, I've called it panos, which are the panoramic photographs. You'll see there's 3 of each there, which we've taken on the day. Light exposure, standard, and underexposed. I've done the same with the stills. They're just basic stills which are going to be edited. And then I've also got some again, I've taken some still images, standard exposure, for instance, standard exposure, underexposed, overexposed, and we're going to run them through some software as well. So that'll be a little bit easier because all you need to do is run them through some software and overlay each 3 images. The panos need to be run through some software, and then also they need to be stitched. So we'll do that first. So let's go to the software we're using. These Photomatix Pro, which I've been using quite a few years now. Batch bracketed photos here. I'll select my folder, which I've already selected earlier, panos there. Merge 3 images at a time. Batch will merge 3 files at a time from the above list there. Filter all of them, so we're going to collect save results in a subfolder within the source folder. So within the source folder, it's going to create a folder automatically. We're going to save the results as a JPEG file. We're going to save them as 100% JPEG quality, because I want to use JPEGs. The other bit's greyed out, ignore that. I've got a preset that I bought years ago, and I think it's a guy called Trey, someone, I can't remember his name. Anyway, so I've got a preset that I'm going to run over them as well. Merge with image alignment. I'm not going to bother with noise reduction. We're going to crop align images. We shouldn't really need that because they were taken on a tripod. I'm not going to rename them. I'm just going to add a little bit of sharpening, mild sharpening. So I'll go down to this. Oops. Mild sharpening, and click run. You'll see there now loading 3 images, starting with image 179. I'm going to take the first 3 images, sorry, with different numbers, process them with the filter, and then save them. Same again for the next 3 images, process them, save them. So that's overlaying 3 images, loading 3 images, starting with. While that's running, we can actually go to the folder where they are. There. You'll see now it's created, the software's now created a folder within the folder we had. If I click that, you'll see that it's overlaying the 3 images. So it's renamed them 179.12, 179.345, 179.678, 7, there now. Are our overlaid images. So there's 3 images there overlaid. 3 images overlaid. 3 images overlaid. Makes them nice and sharp. A little bit of sharpening added to that as well. So that's 3 images there. Standard exposure, underexposed, overexposed, overlaid, and a little bit of sharpening added on top. And if you flick through, you'll see some more. It shouldn't take too long, because there wasn't thousands of images for that. It's only a small job. We'll go back to software, and it's halfway through the job. And then we'll leave that running. I'll then take one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those, put it in some more software to create a panoramic photograph. I've only actually taken a few shots in this plane because the aircraft was slightly smaller than what I did previously. That shouldn't take long to do, to be fair. I'll come back in a minute when it's finished. So we're back to the software now. It only took about 10 minutes. There wasn't many images there. It's come up with a note there. It stopped batch successfully completed. Results are in, and it shows the results where they are. I'm now going to, I might as well, while I've got this software open, I might as well batch process the still images that I took on the day. So we'll select the folder. We'll come down to there to the stills, which are called stills-3. There's 3 of each. Click OK. And I'll leave all the settings the same. It will put them into a subfolder called stills3, or you can choose custom location, but I'll leave it, create its own folder. 100% quality JPEG. I'm going to run that preset on it again. But if you click here, you've got different presets you can run in there, or you can add your own presets, you can buy them. And I've got a list of different presets here I can use, but they're a bit over the top, some of those, a bit too fancy. So we're just going to stick with the one I've got there. Again, merge with align, image alignment, crop align images. Don't need noise reduction because I've not chosen to use that because there's not much noise on the images. I could enhance them with that. Recommended for raw files, it says there. Ghost removal. Ghost removal is where something's moved. If the 3 bracketed shots, if you take the 3 shots and there's bracketed shots, something's moved slightly or a person moves through, it'll try and remove that. It's called a ghost. So you'll have 3 images, and if there's something in 1 image or 2 images, if it's not in all 3 images and it's moved slightly, it will try and remove it. But I don't need to do that. No one's there. It's done on a tripod, so leave the contrast as it is. A little bit of mild sharpening again, and then we'll do that again. Run that, and now it's going to do the still shots that we took. So starting off with the first one. So all you need to do really is go into your folder and make sure it's divisible by 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. And as I said, with the camera equipment I used, I took 3 bracketed shots, standard exposure, overexposed, underexposed. This software will now take the first image, overlay it with the other 2 images, and then put a filter on top of it, and then do a bit of mild sharpening. So now if we go back into the folder, there, go back to Stills3, and there's created another folder, Photomatix results. I click into there, and you'll see that we're starting to get some still images created. I might crop these out and edit them and sharpen them a little bit more in some software yet, I'm not sure. But we'll see what we've got at the very end of it. But as you can see there, you can actually see out the window. Now if that was a normal shot, you'd tend to get like highlight coming through there, too much light coming through. But so we've got, you can sort of see it through there. I think that was 3 stops overexposed, 3 stops underexposed. I particularly like this shot, leading you down the aircraft. I only took, I think, 3 shots down the aircraft on this one. 1 at the front, 1 in the middle, 1 at the back. It's not quite as, if you look at the Aeronexus aircraft I photographed, a little bit more in depth. It had a slightly wider aisle on the aircraft, toilet, bed, bar, etc. This was a bit of a standard aircraft, so 3 shots will create the tour down the middle. These still photographs I'm taking at the moment will be used in the tour as like a pop-up or in some sort of gallery. So I particularly like these. I'll probably put this into some software and edit them a little bit more, highlight them and crop them. But that one, I quite like that one, with the seats nice and lined. I might need to align it a little bit more there, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Let's have a look what's going on, see if we've got any more. Aha, right, okay, let's have a look at these food ones now. Yeah, that looks quite nice and sharp. I quite like that. I'll crop in on that one probably. And that one. That's quite nice. This is in focus here. It's slightly out of focus here with a wine out of focus. I'll probably just leave that. I might crop in that a little bit. These will be, what I'll do with all these photographs, all these still images will be uploaded to Google Photos, and I'll share the folder with the client, or they can download them at any time, or share them with their clients. And a few of these I'll use as pop-ups in the gallery when I go to create the tour. That's what you call travelling in style, isn't it, with a food like that? Look at that. Again, another one. I think that should be finished actually. Now this is what I meant about the ghosting. I might redo these, see if I can get rid of the ghosting on that actually. These last couple, that last one, oops. Right, let's go back and, I think that's finished now. Let's have a little look. Oh no, it's still processing the images. Yeah, this is what I meant by ghosting. So you got him moved. I might be able to get rid of this. I'll get the software to do it for me. What I'll do, I'll make a number of this image. 1949_50_51, and that one. I'm not too bothered about these awful clouds in the sky. We don't want them. Look how grim it is. Problem is, because you've overlaid 3 images, it triples the clouds. So I'll try and edit that in Photoshop or some other photographic editing software. They're not the best images in the world, but we couldn't account for the weather. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best weather we would have wanted. But he was talking about me going back another stage to take some more. I think that's finished now. So that's finished. Right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut that down. I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete that folder. So I'm going to go back. I've run that software again. I could have just done it on the individual images, but I'm going to run the whole lot again, I think, while I'm sitting here. Batch bracketed photos. I'm batching them. I could have just done batch the single photos, or you can put HDR on them, etc. Or you can just do single photos or groups of photos. So what I'm going to do, it's in the same folder again. But I'm going to check this option here, ghost removal, there. And as you highlight it there, it says attempts to remove artifacts caused by moving elements in the scene between the bracketed shots. Let's run that again. Bit of sharpening on there, mild sharpening. That should take, it will take a little bit longer now. Let's run these. So it's applying noise reduction now, so it's going to take longer. But there's no rush. There's not thousands of images. I wouldn't normally do this on a large set of images. So loading 3 images, applying noise reduction, aligning the images, and processing. So let's go back now. If you go into the folder. Right, I can see it's taken 1 image there of the pilots. It's just processing the last couple of images. Another one of the pilots just popped up. Another one of the pilots just popped up. So we'll have a look in a minute, see how it did with the ghost removal. It's got to be nearly finished, I think. It's just doing the plain ones now. I'm not too keen on those ones. Right. So let's just have a look what we've got. Start back here. So there we go. And these will all be used in the gallery and sent to the client. Right. There we go. Now that's the one of the pilot we had earlier. And you'll see now it's removed the ghosting around here. There's a little bit of haziness here, but it's done a bloody good job there. Really good job. It's removed all the ghosting here. And next image. Yeah, it's not quite, well, it's because of the shutter speed there, so we won't be using that image. But this is quite a nice one. I don't think he wants these for the tour or the actual job anyway. It's just a bit of fun. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. But they weren't posing. I didn't really want to take photographs of pilots. I think I was putting them off a little bit. Haven't got a clear shot outside. What you can do, you can take this into some software and wipe that away, but there's a really foggy, horrible, misty day anyway in the morning. But look at that, that's quite a nice shot, that. And we're back to the aircraft ones, which is nice, but I'm just going to have to do something to this sky. I'll I'll run that in some software, I think, and get rid of that. I'll have a play with those. So it should be finished in a minute. A couple more to go, and that's that done. I will now have our images fully overlaid. Now what we need to do, what I've done already, I've gone into the folder of the panos and I've deleted a couple that had errors. If you remember rightly in the other video, I put my hand up in the way. So if I go like this now, and I can adjust this like this, and I need 4. So I go and drag it like this, I've got 4. I can come down and scroll down and make sure I've got 4, 4, 4, 4. Each 4 images will now make a panorama. Open up PT GUI. Open our software, Tools, Batch Builder. Generate new projects. Multiple panoramas per folder with a fixed number of images. Browse to our folder. External drive, Lightroom photos. There you go. This is where our images lie in there. Okay. Images per panorama 4. Image file extension, leave that empty. Click OK. So it's now loaded with 4 images. Generate projects. Would you like to send the generated batch list to the batch stitcher now? Click OK. That will now hopefully stitch the images. That's one stitched. Now if you get an error where something's moved, the tripod's moved, they don't stitch properly, it will come up failed to stitch, and then you double click on it. At the moment this is working incredibly well, so I'm a bit suspicious. But as I say, if it failed to stitch, you can double click on it and you can add or delete your own control points. So it's now done the, I'll double click on that. Well, let's have a little look if we've got the, this here is where you do your individual images, control points, but I think it's done it all for us. Let me have a look. If we go down to the folder, Lightroom photos, panos, there. I think it's created them already. There's a way, that's it. So these are the project files here. This is our 4 images, and these are our, obviously you can see one's got a bit skew with there. If I open that, now that looks good, that one. Alright. That is a panorama. What we'll do, put a logo at the bottom here. Because the fisheye lens was 8mm fisheye lens was aiming slightly upwards, the ceiling, what they call the zenith, is okay. There's a little bit of an error there, I might Photoshop. And the floor, we can either Photoshop that out, we can patch it, or we can put a logo there. So that looks okay. Next one, again, looks okay. Slight tiny stitching error there. I might go back and manually stitch these actually and redo them, because it's done a bit of a rough and ready job. Remember, I had to move the tripod about. We can do a better job. This one has completely gone wrong. And then the bottom, whoops. And then the bottom one. That looks quite nice. Right, so that's gone wrong. That third one, I tried to batch stitch the photographs in PT GUI, but it didn't come out brilliant. So what I'm going to do, I'll try and do them manually. It's always awkward when you're in a tight spot. So what I'll do, I'll take the first 4 images, like so, there, and I'll click. The crop tab should be okay. No, that doesn't look right, does it? like so. Right, let's align images. To analyse the images, generates control points. That's a bit of a low resolution file, but that looks fine to me. There, that's great. Great panorama. Set optimum. Quality, well, the quality at 100% we won't muck about with. So great panorama. So I've done it individually, it's not loads. What you normally do is try and batch process the lot. Oh, there we go, that's not too bad. And what we need to do is put a logo here. Sometimes I can Photoshop it out, or I can stop the image rotating so it can only rotate so far, like that. But that's just a rough preview at the moment. I'll show you there. That's looking alright. So that's the first one. Project assistant, so we'll load images, we'll load the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That done the first one, so we'll load that 4. Open. What it is, I've got to remove the first 4. Remove. Align images. Oops, should have done that, should I? It's a bit of a learning curve, this software, but I've been using it for years and years. You can preview your panorama. Let's just check the crop. That's fine. If you have troubles, stitch them, you can go to your source images, crop, mask. You can mask stuff out. This what happens is the software adds control points. So you can add or delete control points yourself. So what basically a control point is like 1 and 1. They match 9 and 9, and it stitches them together. That's why the images have to overlap. It's already done. Preview. Don't do preview. We'll do a great panorama. It's just looking good. That's the second one done.